Welcome to ATB TV this week. I'm Darren Dance here with Peter Morganti. Pete, Golden Slipper All-Star Mile weekend coming up, so plenty to talk about.
Yep.
Let's go back through our runners for the week, which we had a few. I think most of them weighed in without saluting. Where do you want to start?
All ran well, just not quite a cigar there to be smoking. We go back to a dandy man at Pakenham. I labelled it our best bet. And halfway down, I'm thinking...
Was it our best result?
Well, it was in terms of highest up in the order. It ran second. Others probably ran just as well, but ran fourth and fifth. But it was like, you know he was going to get close, but it was always just going to run out of ground. And right on the line, he was going home as well as the winner. But the fact that the winner was where it was able to, tactically, it was able to race closer to the speed. I wouldn't have thought, they didn't go slow, they went steady. It was 61.5. It made it hard for him to run down that winner. But look, he ran well. He ran as good as he did at Ballarat. Got a bit closer, but...
What was the margin in the end?
Half a length. Neck.
Half a length.
On neck.
He must have covered 2 lengths extra to the winner.
Just...
Hooked out wide.
Yeah.
I'm not blaming the rider. I mean,
No.
you can't go over him.
Well,
we saw that Saturday.
Speaking to Mitch, he said, look, you know, do you just wait a little bit longer? He said, 9 times out of 10, that's how you would ride the horse. You pull out to try and run over him.
Well, he's a momentum horse, isn't he?
Yeah, and you
so
just...
what do you do? Look, I know you can criticise the ride and you can say he probably should have won, he covered more ground, but...
It was only a
as I said,
6, you
know?
know.
You can't go over him.
No.
So, yeah, it was a hard watch. And you could see the winning post. You just wanted that winning post to be another 80 yards up the road.
It wasn't further around.
But look, without winning, he's running well, and you know that's probably his level.
Well, and
he's probably going to win one of those, and that's about where he's going to be.
I think as we talk through our runners, we've got the same sort of platform with a few of them.
Yep.
They're at their level. You need everything to go right to win.
Well,
but
let's talk about
competitive.
Well, let's talk about it now. So basically, with our rating system in Victoria, or Australia-wide for that matter, your horses will start off and, you know, if they've got ability, they'll win their maiden, they'll come out and win their 64 or 58, and then they'll get into that 70 range, and then they'll get stuck because I think it's only like 6% of horses that are higher than a 78 in the whole country. 6%, Pete.
Not a lot, is it?
Most of the horses are a 76 and under. So if you're in that 70s range, you will be competitive, and one day everything will go right and you'll win. And then you'll go to 78 and then they'll just be better than you. So in this ratings, it's a game of chess really. You need to find the perfect track, the perfect rider, the gate, the barrier,
and the time of year.
Everything has to be right, and we're in the stronger part of the year, spring and autumn. So you will get into that range where you will run well without winning, and if you run 6 starts, one day it'll all go perfect and you'll win, but you'll find it hard to win your next 2.
Sounds silly, but a 78 rated horse in December or January is easier than a 78 now because you get the progressive horses in the carnival times coming through and you just meet them
with no weight.
And that's the other thing. You might be a 78 rider carrying 60, being a 78, and then you got a 70 rider in the race carries 4 kilos less. So, and barriers, like you said, it's
an equation.
It's an equation.
And you'll find that these horses, Dandyman, Hasseltoff, Two Bays Shore, we can make a whole list. They can all run around in Melbourne, and we're all happy to have city runners because it's good money. But they're going to be in their level, and they're going to find it hard to win consistently. They'll have a birthday every couple of runs, or every 4 or 5 runs, and they'll win and pay for their prep. But unless they're very progressive, it's very hard to get into the 80s with these horses. And
I think
it's all about placement, timing, and just getting everything right. And this week, we saw most of our runners in that situation, all running around the mark. But finding one with a better run or one with a better turn of foot, or there wasn't enough pace, or this one might need a little bit further. So that's where we are with our horses. Now, we don't want to complain because often you get horses that can't win a maiden or can't win a 58. But these horses are all city class, off-season, midweek, sort of 70 range horses, and unless they jump out of the ground that's where they're going to stay.
And when they're 5 and 6, you know they're not going to jump out of the ground.
Yeah, and when they turn 5 and 6, you have to start thinking about, well, what do we do here? Yeah. If that's their level and they can't go to the next level, do we push on and persevere? Yep. Do we try them over further, or do we move them on? Yeah.
Do you spend $30,000 in training fees to win a $50,000 race, or do yourself a 50 or 60? Like I mean, people just want to race a horse, but
and
sometimes...
remembering at the end, if we hang on to these geldings till they're 8, they end up in Pony Club.
Yeah, they're worth nothing. Yeah.
So, you know, there's a lot to think about. So enjoy the ride, because the ride comes to an end fairly quick.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yes, so a Dandy Man, they'll find a similar race and we'll be competitive. We know we're going to be competitive. Do we get that ounce of luck we need to win? Well, time will tell. Late Titty Car, Morphville, just had to work a bit more. There was one there was keen to lead, and then we kicked up and led. That told in the last 60 or 70 metres. I just can't wait for... it's Clark and O'Shea now, isn't it? Just can't wait for him to get out to a mile again, because I think the tempo relax, you'll get an easier lead and dictate and kick and go. Racing well.
You can tell she's got a bit of class.
Yeah.
You can tell she's a little bit...
She finished 5th, beaten a length and a bit.
Yeah, she's and she'll second up. She's bred to run 2,000. You can tell she's a handy enough horse in Adelaide.
Yep.
And with her racing style where she's out in front, she's always going to be that one that needs to be hanging on.
Yeah.
But I think when she gets to a mile, 2,000, if she can get that easy lead, they won't get her. No. They just won't be able to pick her up. So that'll happen.
They've all got, like, Murray Bridge and Morphin, they're all big tracks with big home straights.
And nice and flat.
Yeah, but there's one track there, I think it's Balaclava, where it's tight and the straight's only about 200. That would be a lovely track for it, but it's more
I want to win in town, mate.
Yeah, no, I
want a city winner.
More
we got the mare.
She can win in town. We've seen it. Yeah.
So I'm thinking she's had 2 runs first up, led both times, got run over, which I think now the secret will be she'll go to a mile next start, and they'll say, "Oh, we'll let her lead because she'll stop, and then we'll try and pick her up late."
Yeah,
but if she's got that extra fitness, they won't get her,
and the slower tempo, and she'll kick and go.
And that's the day you put your money on.
Well, she won by about 7 in a maid when they stepped her up.
Yeah, but they all got sucked into thinking she'd stop, and she never.
But anyway, she looks like she's
on the right
back
track
in good form.
And being a mare, she's got good residual as a breeder.
Yep. So that was Saturday. Sunday, I think it was Sunday, or was it Monday? Stony Creek, Sunday. Cragger Dance. I missed the first bit of the race, and I've turned it on with 500 to go.
When she's zooming around the outside
and
on
I'm
the
thinking,
bend?
But probably, and I think Michael Kent said in the post race that it's hard to go from a mile to 2,200 and that match fitness.
Plus 6 weeks between runs.
Yeah, that little bit. So I think they've done a really good job to get her to that level. She also showed us she can win a maiden, at least, over 2,400.
Easy.
It was I thought it was a solid effort.
Well, on the bend, when she's travelling, we thought, hello. But I've been to Stony Creek and I know what that track's like, and that bend is sharp. And then they sort of run down a hill and they come up a hill.
Again, yeah.
And she got tired late, but look, she had a setback between runs. It was only her second ever start in her life. She had 6 weeks between runs. For her to do that and finish 4th, I thought was really good.
Yeah.
She blew and blew and blew after the race. A couple of owners were there, and they said she had a really big blow, and she'll definitely be improved by it. And I think wherever we take, I think she's going to Ballarat next.
Yep.
And that's a nice flat track.
Yeah.
With plenty of room. And look, you can never declare them, but I think if she's running over 2,000, 2,400 on a flat track and it's not an over strong race, as long as there's nothing coming through there that's going to be a star, she's going to be right in the finish.
Or anything that's worth half its salt, mile and a half, would be over in South Australia from that level. Look, she's not winning next start, it'll be within the next couple.
Well, and for the owners that were there on the day that sent the photos through, that was terrific.
Yeah, it was.
And appreciated by the other owners. I got lots of feedback there, so thanks to Glenn. And I also passed your feedback on, Glenn and Des. I passed your feedback on to Michael Kent Jr. about the jockey's behaviour post-race, and that has been dealt with.
Right, I missed that. I just seen the interview, but I never, obviously wasn't there to see.
Well, not good enough, unprofessional.
Righto, there you go.
So he would have got a little boot.
Didn't speak to him?
Dodged him.
Dodged him. There you go.
Not acceptable.
Righto.
Won't put up with it, Pete.
Not putting up with it? Well, that's fair enough. I mean, that's
owners go all the way there.
part of the rap, isn't
The
it?
jockey ducks through the other way and doesn't come out to the owners. Not acceptable. It happened once to us at Sandown with a young fella there that was riding. He's been dispatched to Adelaide, so good on him.
Don't need it, because I think it's all part of the whole
Without
deal.
the owners, there's no racing.
Well, they don't get a ride, do they?
We won't put up with it.
Sandown, 2/4.
Went down Wednesday.
Beating a total of about 1.5 lengths between them. Yeah, she made the trip down.
Liz and I went down for a lovely afternoon drive in the traffic.
And our horses were in traffic, but they got out.
Oh, they both ran well without winning.
I think we spoke about the Dandy Man.
Hasseltoff is
Same
a classic. Back in trip, because there's no other race. He's had 6 goes at Sandown, never won. Nothing changed. Ran well without winning. Blake Shin rode him really well. He thought 3 times down the straight he was going to win, but he just whacked away. His last 50 was probably his weakest. Pulled a little bit early. He's at his mark. Everything has to go right. And look, he's got his foot on the till, and he'll crack it. He will crack it, but a little bit hard to place now, that horse. As we were talking earlier, off camera, we've got the option to go to Flemington 2000 over an 82. Now that's a pretty stiff grade.
Yeah.
So we're going to nom. Hopefully there's no 84s nomming for that race. Hopefully the best horse in it's like a 76.
Yeah.
Which puts us in it. Or we may have to drop him back to a mile and go to Bendigo. So it's really hard to place him. Like, we didn't want to go to Sandown, but we missed the run at Flemington. We had to go there as a maintenance type run. And now it just doesn't play out. But he's had about, 8 runs this prep.
Yeah.
So he's done his job, but I know he can go okay in the wet, but we're trying to stretch the prep out while the tracks are dry. And hopefully over the next month, the fields will drop off a bit.
Yeah.
Because, the horses will go out, or they'll go to Adelaide or Sydney, and it'll all shrink.
Our carnival sort of finishes next weekend.
Yeah,
Sydney comes into vogue.
Yeah, so we're sort of hoping that they disappear to Adelaide, disappear to Sydney, and then we can pick up the scraps.
Be good. When we picked up 2 lots, you can remember we won twice with Flemington.
Yeah.
That was 70,000.
Yeah, we've picked up plenty of money, but I think we all just agreed and we want another win.
Yeah, why not?
And unfortunately, Craig Williams couldn't ride it because he had a tumble on Saturday, him and Jamie Carr.
Yeah.
So, that just brings you back to earth, doesn't it?
Well,
it's horrible.
Blake Shin's a world-class rider, but when you're only getting on the horse for the first time, and he may have mentioned to you, I wouldn't have done that.
I ride it different.
Yeah, and Craig, who has ridden him a few times, he would have been alerted to that little flat spot or whatever, And half a length, you're beating the neck.
Mate, it's just one little thing over 100.
And I reckon as we said, when you get to that level, I think it was 3 lengths from first to last. Now, every person who had a horse should have walked away from that saying, well, we ran to a level, that's where we sort of fitted into that category on the day.
I reckon if you ran that race 10 times over, you get 8 different winners.
Well, and if it was 10 in it, that's it.
You rotate the gates, you rotate the riders.
Yeah.
And Paddy Payne's horse was strong to the line.
Yep.
And, I thought...
Well, see, next start, he's not at that level. He gets weighted 4 points higher, 2 kilos. There's 1 less. You finish 3rd next time. That's just the way it is.
I think all the boys that had tickets and bets on those 2 horses, the worst thing is you run 4th.
Yeah,
because you get nothing.
A couple of thirds in a multi.
I did think about taking the multi, but I decided not to.
Well, they started
too
short enough.
Too short.
Yeah.
I thought they were too short. I couldn't believe Hasseltoff was $3.
Yeah. And just going
back in distance.
Yeah.
Different rider. Just.
I think it might.
Donation material.
Probably he had less convictions than some of the others, being a dual Flemington, 3 or 4 time Flemington winner.
But look at his Sandown record. Never won there. Yeah. Never will win there. But anyway, he's a great fun horse. He's won over 400 and he's around the money and he's genuine. He just needs it to go his way.
And 2 bays short, 2 races later, very similar stamp type of horse,
exactly.
Isn't he? Yeah.
And the other thing is Stokes has kind of blamed himself for just going up to the 14 rather than going to the mile. But there was no mile race apparently. So, look, he's only second up and He had a good puff too. He looked amazing. But you know what I reckon about Tubo Shaw now? His brain's clicking into gear. He's not pulling. He's not racing with his head on the side. He's more genuine. He just needs more ground.
I was going to say, he's probably, now's the time he can get out and trip a bit further, where he was, Phillip State, a little bit hesitant because he wasn't settling early.
Plus he doesn't handle the wet, so we better hurry up and win one.
I tell Tom, I don't know what was behind us in the run, but when he pulled out, I thought, oh, here we go. But he didn't really let down. The horse behind us got past us, and then on the line again, we were surging with it. So that's a sign that he just, he would have lapped up a mile. And
I think he ran fourth. I think what made it look worse than what it was is that first light horse ran past us. Like it just went past us, and it made us look weak.
Yes,
but where we weren't that weak.
No. You had, like I said, had another 200 metres of that race, and it all
different story. So look, hopefully, if we're right, he'll come out and win over a mile next start.
Yep, he's certainly come back okay off that freshen up, which sometimes doesn't work, the little freshen ups, but it seems
it was a long freshen up.
Yeah. So that was it, Darren. So we ended up with a second, 3 fourths, and a fifth. Didn't help our top 3.
No.
Within inches, it could have been.
I might change that to top 4.
Top 4. We'd have a few in there.
All right.
So
only one runner.
One runner at Orange.
Is that?
I reckon every time we talk about Sunday.
Oh right.
Every time we talk about this horse, it's a new track we haven't been to. What do we have? Tuncurry, something else, and now Orange. Now you can't tell me about a horse at Orange.
I've never had.
Again in country New South Wales.
I think I've flown into Orange once.
Is it inboard a bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I did fly in there. I think I landed there when I had to go and see a yearling in a paddock and end up being platelet.
Oh, well that was a fair little good reason to fly in.
Coldest place I've ever been to.
Oh, right.
I think it was -8 that night.
Well, I don't know what Sydney weather. There's a bit of rain.
It's hot up there.
And warm. Well, it's going to be warm here too over the weekend.
Mean Girls at Orange.
1239, written by Clayton Gallagher. Sounds like a singer.
Sounds like a fence post. Well, I thought she probably was a bit unlucky last night. We're just trying to win a maiden and she's off to the sale. So we've got to win a maiden because the sale's at the end of May and we're running out of time.
Well, I just hope that she ran up that many backsides last start that I hope she doesn't realise that that's what she has to do, because I noticed the girl's not back on anyway. Brooke Stour.
Don't mention the walk.
Caravan taking the trees.
Oh, it is too. No,
yes.
Let's not talk about that ride. Let's just move
Nothing
on.
against female riders, but should I just say the jockey, not female?
I don't know why.
Got it totally wrong last time.
I don't know.
Because what do you say? You can't jump him. Well, she tried hard. Can it win, Darren?
It can win.
You're going to back it, Darren?
What else is it?
No.
Wouldn't be up yet.
Well, if Forbes going to read something like 6
duck egg,
and 8,
duck egg. Look, to be honest, Mean Girls, I'm tempted to have something on it because she's, I don't know, would she be 10 to 1?
Oh, it's probably got to be.
I don't know. I don't know.
Her overall form's probably, has she finished any closer than 4th or 5th?
If we're right, with a little bit of luck last start, she runs top 3.
Yeah, great.
If she runs up to that,
well,
she's got to be an each-way chance again.
Yeah.
But given the fact she's had 7 goes for nothing, kind of makes it a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
But we need to win a race.
Well, the thing is,
Luke knows we need to win a race.
We haven't got any other runners this weekend, so she's our best.
She's not my best. I'll give you the winner of. I'll go Alligator Blood in the All-Star Mile as my best.
Well, is it not?
And it's good hoof.
Is it not the best bet?
Well, it's got hoof filler for Pete in its feet. And the last time it had hoof filler in its feet, it got beat. Does that scare you?
35 degrees tomorrow. By the time they get to that race, there was talk they're going to bring the races forward to 10 o'clock start. That'd be silly, wouldn't it?
I would have thought.
Well, especially when you got the Golden Slipper that doesn't run to about 4:30.
I'm loath to give Mean Girls as my best bet.
Well,
so I'm not giving any best bets this week.
Oh, righto. But
I can't, a 7-start maiden, I can't tip it to anyone.
No,
because I have too much respect for our viewers.
$3 or $4 a place, mate. Might just sneak.
Good luck to the owners.
Sneak into a hole. Well, yes.
Who were considering going up. It's an 8.3-hour drive in a straight line from Geelong.
Yeah, well, TVs, glass of bubblies.
Oh, they'll be on it.
Air conditioner.
They'll be well on it.
Air
They'll probably
conditioner.
be asleep by the time the race comes on.
Couple of mean girls in the ownership.
There is. Last week's competition
Yes.
was
Created a bit of
eventful.
interest. Yes.
Because 2 riders fell, and unfortunately that's terrible, but 2 of the leading riders fell, and Craig Williams and Jamie Carr, and we're pleased that no long-term apparent injuries.
Yep.
And then Ben Mallam, who was probably in the mix to be the leading rider in our leading rider comp, decided that he couldn't ride because he wanted to go to hospital with Jamie Carr, and that's fair enough. So Mark Zara was obviously the most successful rider from Damien Lane on the day.
Yep.
Just interesting when you add those points up. Like, they dominated. Zara, Mallam, Lane dominated. You know, they were just so far in front of everyone else, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And that's probably why they're the leading riders. They get the best rides, they do the best job. But, so we did have a few people nominate Mark Zara, but the first entry in was Chris McIntyre. So next time what I'll do, if I do, well, we're going to do it again today, but a leading rider, I think we'll make it the leading rider and the number of points on a 3-2-1 basis.
To separate
to try and separate it out, because not everyone can watch ATB TV at lunchtime.
So e.g. if you pick Zara and you nominate 10 points, and he gets
3
10.
for a win, 2 for a second, 1 for a third, and then that'll make it fairer. And then the Newmarket winner and the margin, quite a few people had in secret, which was way over the odds in my book, way over the odds. But yes, we had a lot of margins, and the winning margin was 1 length, and Dennis Lewis had 0.85. And we had a number of other people that had 0.8, 0.7, half a length ahead,
there.
because a lot of the Newmarkets have been won by 0.2 recently. We still had a few Imperials come in.
A few, just one and a half lengths, or
you know, a neck. So a few people.
What is it? What a neck is? 0.2.
0.2. Yeah. Attention to details, not our viewers' strong point. So congratulations to the winners, and thanks for everyone for the entries. Just remember, it is easier if you email them in to me rather than text them or send them to Pete, because he only has to forward them onto me, and if he's got no phone, then your entry won't be recorded.
The laptop.
So try and email them to myself, and then I've got them all in one spot. So this week's comp, I'm going to make it really easy, because some people are saying the comps are too hard. So
good luck.
This week, I'm going to make it really easy for you to win. You need to nominate the winner of the Golden Slipper and the All-Star Mile and the combined margin. So if King's Gambit wins by half a length and Alligator Blood wins by half a length, then you need to nominate those 2 horses equal 1 length.
Combined margins, combined winning margins.
Right? I know a few might struggle with that. So I want the winner of the Slipper, the winner of the All-Star Mile, and the overall margin of the 2 added together.
I reckon if anyone gets the 2 winners, they deserve a cap, full stop.
If one person gets the 2 winners, they obviously win.
Yeah, well, that's right. They win anyway.
Yep, so that's going to be a bit of fun. And then we'll go with the leading jockey at the Valley on Saturday on a 3-2-1 points basis. 3 points for the win, 2 for the second, 1 for third. So give me your jockey who's going to get the most points on Saturday at Moonee Valley and nominate the points.
And so if you think Zara, you put 6 points or 8 points or whatever.
Yeah.
That's just to split.
Just so if there's 10 people pick the same rider, I've got a chance to declare a winner. So, and plus it's interesting then, because we tend to follow the racing, and I must admit last week I added up the points before the last race, and there was only 2 jocks could win, Zara and Lane. And then Zara put in a peach and won the last.
And there's 10 races at the Valley, so you're going to be in it for a while. If you think you're out of
interest.
Yep. No, good fun.
So good luck and happy tipping.
I went to the trials yesterday, Darren, just to
Where were they?
Camperdown, 18 trials.
Did you have any sausages?
No, I didn't have one.
Was the barbecue going?
Yeah, it was going. I had to
Could you smell it?
I walked past it 18 times and never had one sausage.
18 trials.
18 trials.
And couldn't get a snag.
Never. I had drank water all day.
Who are you and what'd you do with Peter Morganti?
Then to spoil it all, I got to Lismore and I stopped at the Blue Yabby.
Oh, no.
And had a pie and a sausage roll.
Oh,
I think
should have had 2 sausages. Would have been cheaper.
Anyway, we had 5 horses trial.
Who are they?
Rock and Roll Diva with Daniel.
Daniel Bowman.
One her trial.
Won her trial.
Crackett.
Is she ready to race?
I think he wants... Oh, she could be really ready to go, yeah.
So she's by Jukebox, who was a horse that Colin McKenna raced.
Yep.
Who went to start out of our mare Wanted Diva.
Yep.
So she'll be a first starter coming up in the next week or so.
Yep. We had Cracker Jack Prince.
Archie Alexander.
Ran 3rd in a 1,000-metre trial.
First trial.
Nice, very... was up on the pace, but he's pricked to the line.
Is he going the races now, did I read?
I just can't remember what the squash... Yes, there was a race at Sandown.
I thought, well, that's where we've got to go back to
That's the horse, Sandown, yes. I can't remember... I
thought I was done with Sandown for a while.
So it must be Wednesday week, I would say.
Well, please, we need a bit of rain.
Well, no, it might be Wednesday. Anyway, ran good. Arthurian Princess over a mile trial.
So
and
that's
Linda Meach rode and did ride her last time, and she was very up with, felt the difference in the horse, and actually when she gave her one at the bump, she responded.
Yeah, so she's a Camelot filly with Simon Wilde that is yet to start. She's a 3-year-old filly, staying type. So she ran 4th in that mile trial.
Yep, might have been 3rd.
So
3rd or 4th, yeah.
He's going to give her another trial, isn't he?
Yeah, well look, I think Linda just said, just be patient, she's just going to stay all day.
Yeah.
And they've said that all along. So
You better hurry up, the Oaks is coming up.
well, you might be going to get her there first up.
Oh, no one.
But she definitely improved and keeps improving, and she tries hard. Like she lays the ears back and goes. So just going to be a dead set stayer.
Racehorse, yep.
Yep. Norma's Fleet. Poor thing, was in the quickest trial. I think they ran 50 for the 800, which was one of the quickest of the morning. Beaten a long way, but wasn't asked to do much. And as she said, she's just going to be a horse that will need a trip in time.
So she's a done
Tom
deal.
Davidic.
Another one that hasn't raced, a done deal 3-year-old filly out of Fleet of Foot, one we bred that Tom Davidic's got, and the Warrnambool boys, the Roberts. So yeah, she's going to have 2 more trials before she debuts, so she's probably going to be ready to debut around May.
Yep, and Owenology, the big boy.
The old,
very fresh.
The forgotten horse.
Yeah, and a horse
Had
with
good
good
form.
Obviously coming back off a
Suspensory?
setback, yep. Looked good, he was as fresh as, well, the girl, Harley Norman, who rides for Maddie, just let him go because he wanted to go, and then he settled, then they sprinted, but he went to the line untouched with his prick, ran 4th or 5th, beaten a fair well. I don't know, it might have been 6th, but it looked a good trial.
So he'll have another trial, won't he?
Yeah, absolutely, probably 2, maybe.
2 more trials.
I remember the times.
I reckon he's going to Warrnambool first up with that horse.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I reckon.
Remember at Castle?
He loves going to
He
Warrnambool.
gave him 2 and 3 trials, and he kept improving with them, and then we seen it on the track that he had ability, but I think he'll just look after it.
I reckon Beetroot's up to his old
careful,
tricks.
yeah.
He's up to his old
Well,
tricks.
want-
First up at Warrnambool, get the money.
He's got 30 in work. He'll want 28 racing at Waterville.
He's up to his old tricks, the Beatty.
Said to,
We're on to you, Beatty.
same with Lindsay.
Beatty and Yandel.
Said with Lindsay and Tom Davidic, and there's a few sitting there. I said, how many you sent into the bull, Lindsay? He said, how many I got me stable? They love it. They love their
I
carnival.
won't be there, Pete. I'll be at the sales that week in Sydney.
Oh, where?
Yeah, we've got Weanlings, Mares and Chairmans that week, so
Right.
I will be
That'd be
absent from the carnival at Warrnambool for the first time in
Cashing
a long time.
in up in Sydney.
Cashing the chips in.
Cashing in.
Trying to put petrol in the car. Now, we've got a few mares we need to turn over and foal, so we need to get them done.
Yep.
Right, so
that's it.
there's some there. There's a whole new batch
There's a few
coming through,
others.
isn't there?
There's Samurai Star and Pale Lager.
Well, he must be close to running.
Yeah.
Both there.
Last trial, and Mitch has found that the second trial is a bit flat.
Yeah.
But he's going to trial up again, and we've just got to get to the races and see what.
There's a whole new batch about to come through, so.
Yeah.
And then there's another batch behind them that are all in
Eagles and-
pre-training.
Eagles and Pins, and there's a few.
Arizona Dreaming, Frazioni. There's another batch that are all sort of
More trials.
8 weeks behind them.
I think the next fortnight I've got trials at Mortlake.
Love going to them all though.
Yeah, Mortlake.
Great facilities.
There's another one. Hamilton,
No,
Horsham,
No,
and
you
somewhere
can go,
else.
You can go there.
But it brings those horses of bobbins and
I
puskers in
don't.
there.
I don't go to trials that start with H.
Hamilton, Horsham.
Too far away.
2 trips for me. Anyway.
Lucky you.
Where else? Avoca.
You need a little camper trailer.
A helicopter.
Camper trailer's your go.
Linda Meach's ex-boyfriend with that helicopter. Someone mentioned that the other day. I said, where's Linda Meach with a helicopter? I said, well, that relationship ended 6 years ago.
Time flies.
Yeah.
Righto, we'll leave it there. The comp's on.
Yep.
The All-Star Miles
I
on.
might even put a couple of entries in. Just can't win.
Couple?
Can't win.
You can only put one entry in.
No, there's 2 different comps.
Oh.
Yeah.
So who's your slipper tip?
Oh, no, I really don't know. They're all talking up Neesham's unbeaten thing.
The American Pharaoh thing.
What is it?
Something to fly.
Yeah.
Learn to fly or something.
No, that thing that should have won the Blue Diamond, Don Corleone.
Yeah, I like that. I think Snowden's the best 2-year-old trainer going
Because they grand final trainers and
King's Gambit.
yeah, Chance. Yeah, that's where I'll be.
One of those two.
You almost need a horse that could run 1400 in the way those Golden Slippers are run.
It's so like luck plays a massive part.
Yeah.
And we're going to make a stand out of this race. So
Yeah.
someone's going to get a stand, and it's going to be down to luck in running.
Well, Peter Snowden, when they interviewed him after the Blue Diamond, he didn't care that the other thing won. He said, we should have won. He said, we'll get our day.
I thought that. And I think it's why I'm invincible there also. Wouldn't it be worth $1?
And I did like Ella Go to Blood until you mentioned something about hoof filler.
Now, I read it's got hoof filler, and it's never won with hoof filler, so it's obviously got bad feet. But it's at the Valley, so that's the right track if you're feeling your feet.
Yeah, well, I'm a bit funny with I'm Thunderstruck now. I don't know whether he's come back quite as good as... But he does race well at the Valley. He nearly should have won a Cox Plate.
Yeah, that was a bit wet, that track that day, wasn't it?
We're not going to get that tomorrow.
It's going to be real hot.
I don't know. And after that, I just reckon the field's sort of just...
I just want him to have a really hard, gut-busting run.
I'm Thunderstruck. What was that?
So he doesn't back up.
To back up in the...
We don't want him backing up in the Australia Cup the week
I'll
after.
tell you, the good result, or 2 good results, the thing from Tasmania, the Inevitable.
That's the one I voted for.
Yeah, and the other one is...
I'd love to see that horse win.
The other one, I don't think it's good enough.
Just the underdog. Keats,
yeah.
it'll lead.
Yeah.
So if they can't run on...
Interesting. For $5 million. Good luck to everyone. We were in it once. Took home 80.
Money bags went around. Yeah.
80 grand.
He was way out of his class. But I feel sorry for the people that voted for the horses where the trainers had no real intention of running them.
There's a couple of those.
Like, I wish I win.
Yeah.
He's never really going to go there.
I voted for Tuvalu because he
got injured.
Yeah, he's out in the paddock.
So I don't know. Has it lost its appeal?
I think it's lost some. I think it's lost some because the voting is all good, but then after that with these wild cards, they're just trying to fill the race up to be the best it can be. And you don't... The wild cards will never be a horse that's just... Well, I mean, that... And it's fair enough too, because they've got to be competitive, but... Yeah, I don't know. It's just... I don't know. They've tinkered with it and tinkered with it and tinkered with it, and it's just lost an edge. They were a bit stiff this year, because some good horses never made it, or never continue on to be in it.
I reckon the Valley... doesn't suit every horse.
Yeah.
So our 2 original entries were going to be Detonator Jack and Steinem.
I would have loved Steinem.
But they don't like the Valley.
That's right.
Because they get back run on. So
Isn't it funny how...
it was great that year at Flemington when we were in it, because every horse had its chance, and there was a number of syndicated horses in there where,
and the area where
everyone got behind it.
Yeah.
Whereas this year it doesn't. Apart from Keats's, I think the only or Pounding got pulled in. It's a syndicated horse, but Keats is the one where the owners got behind it and really went hard, and Tassie got behind the Inevitable. And there's some rule that South Australians can't vote or something, or there, I don't know.
Isn't it funny how it's all unfolded now? We were a bit disappointed with Detonator Jack going back to his last run, and then Pounding's got in it, beat it. Nugget, beat it, and then Stacey Bond that beat us was the last one in it. The Valley probably didn't suit Detonator Jack, but it just shows you there's not a lot of difference in the whole overall form of a lot of those horses around a mile.
Sometimes when you get beat and you're at the back and you run home, run third, and you're sort of gutted, and then you watch the horses that beat you go on, and then you think, well, that was a pretty good race.
It just shows that, you only have to be
hindsight's
off a fraction.
a wonderful thing.
Well, I always love looking back in a horse's form back earlier in its career, because I think if they show a bit then, they don't always, they'll have a flat spot somewhere, but I think the ability always shines out eventually as the horses mature, and I think we're talking about Detno Jack's had 9 starts, 9 starts. Jeez, it's only in the infancy of his career.
Yeah, and he's still maturing. He's having a nice break now. He's probably a couple more weeks and he'll be going back into pre-training. So we should see the best of him next prep.
Might have Steinem over a mile next year.
Yeah, who knows?
Can we vote too?
Well, I think they're going to leave that at the Valley permanently. I'm not a fan, but
I think from a spectator's point of view, it's not bad. But I don't know, it cuts a lot of horses out that can win, doesn't it?
I would have thought.
Anyway,
they're supposed to be digging that track up one day, so probably will go back to Flemington for a couple of years.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right, we'll wrap it up there. It's a beautiful day here in Ballarat. We don't get to say that very often.
No, it's magnificent here at the mobile.
I'm on my way down to the mighty Terang.
Yeah,
they got jumps racing there, Pete.
First day of the jump season.
And we're supporting one of the charities down there today. They've got their Farmers Day at Terang, and they're doing a big charity auction. And
what's the charity for? It's a men's health?
Yeah, it's a health charity.
Yeah.
So we're donating a share in a horse that's about 6 weeks off running.
Tom Dabinick
to train. We're donating a share there, and all the money will go to the charity. We're not taking nothing out of it, Pete.
Auction goes late in the day after the boys have had about 10 cans each.
They've got 250 people going.
Oh, jeez.
That's grown.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was about 20 or 30.
I was going to say, the little
they got 200 there, booked in.
Good.
Apparently, the Allansford Field Days are no more, so the suppliers are using this day to wine and dine their clients.
Couldn't got a better day.
No, jumps racing, and Tom Dabinick and I will be there selling our wares.
Beautiful.
So, we might see some of you down there. Until next week, have a great weekend. Let's see. The Golden Slipper and the All-Star Mile. I told you I'd make it easy, and the combined margin.
And we won't get our best bet wrong this week, because we've got none.
I'm going to make a list of the people that don't put in the margin, put in an imperial measurement.
Highlight them next week.
And tip horses that are not even in that race.
Jeez. Did have a couple of them last year too.
All right, have a great weekend. Enjoy your racing, and I nearly forgot.
What?
Carlton.
Yeah, we won.
You threw it away.
No, we come from
Lair Rising.
But people forget we come from behind at 3/4 time.
Lair Rising with 2 minutes to go.
Lair Rise. They just made stupid foot errors.
They ran down the side with the ball, Lair Rising, bouncing it.
Yeah, well, that was all right.
And turned it over.
He should have kicked it 2 bounces earlier.
And Lynch, who kicks 1 goal every 10 kicks, drills it. How'd you go? Were you watching it?
I was happy we got 2 points because they were clearly the better team all night.
No, you were dominating.
No, they had 66 inside 50s to have 40.
Doesn't matter. It's about how many goals you kick.
Well, I was glad we got 2 points. Beck looked at me. I said, 2 minutes to go. This will be a draw.
You thought you were at home.
No, I did not. I paid for Carlton, Darren. I know we weren't home. I honestly,
that's the one that got away.
No, I reckon it's the one we got half the 4 points we shouldn't have.
I think that was
because we're in front with 2 minutes to go. You could say, yeah, we let it slip. We shouldn't have been in front.
Doesn't matter, but you were. You didn't know how to hold them out because you're Lair Rising.
So was Lair Rising.
What about tonight? Collingwood and Geelong.
Yeah, just hope Geelong flogged Collingwood. Oops, we're not allowed to say that word, are we? We're not allowed to, there's too many Collingwood supporters out there. Where's I seen him on the TV the other day.
I'm going to write that into my co-owners agreement.
What's that? No Collingwood
Our
supporters.
syndicates exclude, or put them all into one syndicate. Keep them separate from the rest of the humans.
They've named that all.
They'll all be up and about tonight.
The Magpie or
They're all up and about. They're cocky. They think they're going to beat Geelong.
The Toothless Terror.
Joffa.
We better get
What do you want to say about Joffa?
Time to go.
Till next week. Darren Dance, Peter Morgani. Enjoy the footy as well.